This is part 4 of ASP.NET Core tutorial. In this video, we'll explore and understand the ASP.NET Core project file. This is the empty ASP.NET Core project that we created in our previous video using the empty project template. For this project, we are using C# as the programming language. So if C# is a programming language, then the project file will have this extension .csproj, CS for C#, proj for project. And similarly, if Visual Basic is the programming language, then the project file will have the extension .vbproj, VB for Visual Basic and proj for project. If you have worked with previous versions of ASP.NET, then this file might be very familiar to you, but its format and the content that is included in this file has significantly changed in ASP.NET Core. One significant change is the way we edit a project file. In previous versions of ASP.NET, to be able to edit a project file, we'll have to first unload the project from Solution Explorer. And the way we do that is by right-clicking on the project node and then selecting this option from the context menu, Unload Project. This unloads the project, and then we'll be able to edit and save changes to the project file, and then we have to reload the project once again. In ASP.NET Core, there is no need to unload the project to be able to edit the project file. To edit a project file in ASP.NET Core, all we need to do is right-click on the project node and then select this option from the context menu, Edit Employee Management.csproj. Notice how simple and clean this file is in this version of ASP.NET Core. Another significant change is file or folder references are no longer included in the project file. Let me explain what I mean. In previous versions of ASP.NET, when we add a file or a folder to the project using Solution Explorer, a reference to that file or folder is included in the project file. To add a file or folder, we simply right-click on the project node and then select Add New Item, and then we choose the item that we want to add, and a reference to that item is included in the project file. In ASP.NET Core, file or folder references are no longer included in the project file. The file system determines what files and folders belong to the project. All files and folders that are present in this root project folder are by default part of this project and will be displayed in the Solution Explorer window. Let's actually prove this. Let's add a new file to the project root folder using File Explorer. The easiest way to open this project folder in File Explorer is by right-clicking on the project node and then selecting this option, Open Folder in File Explorer. Now notice what happens to the Solution Explorer window as we add a new file to the Employee Management project folder using this File Explorer. So right-click, New, let's add a new text document. Notice this new text document is present in the Employee Management project folder, so it is part of this project, and that fact is immediately reflected within the Solution Explorer by displaying that file right here. Now look what happens when we delete the file from the folder. So again, I'm going to use the File Explorer to delete the file. Notice now the file is not present in the project folder. That means it is not part of this project, and that fact is again reflected by the Solution Explorer. Notice we don't have the file displayed in the Solution Explorer anymore. It immediately disappears. Now let's quickly explore and understand the contents of this project file. The first element that we have in the project file is target framework. As the name implies, we use this element to specify the target framework for our application, that is, the set of APIs that we want to make available to our application. To specify a target framework for our application, we use something called Target Framework Moniker, in short TFM. So the value that we see right here, NetCore App 2.2, is the target framework moniker for .NET Core 2.2. Remember, when we created this project, we selected .NET Core 2.2 as the framework that we want to target in the new project dialog. Now let's quickly understand the naming conventions used for these target framework monikers. For example, for the full .NET framework, the abbreviation, that is the short name, is NET. So the TFM for .NET Framework 4.5.1 version is .NET 451. Similarly, for the .NET Framework 4.7.2 version, the TFM is .NET 472. Along the same lines, for .NET Core, the abbreviation is .NET Core App. So the TFM for .NET Core 1.0 is .NET Core App 1.0. For .NET Core 2.2, the TFM is .NET Core App 2.2. The next element that we have in the project file is ASP.NET Core Hosting Model. This element specifies how the ASP.NET Core application should be hosted. Should it be hosted in process or out of process? At the moment, the value that we have for this element is in process. So the value of in process specifies that we want to use in process hosting model, that is, host our ASP.NET Core app inside of the IIS worker process w3wp.exe. The value of out of process specifies that we want to use out of process hosting model, that is, forward web request to a backend ASP.NET Core app running the Kestrel server. The default is out of process hosting. We'll discuss in process and out of process hosting and Kestrel server in detail in our upcoming videos. The final element that we have is this package reference element. As the name implies, we use this element to include a reference to the NuGet package that is installed for the application. At the moment, in our project file, we have two package reference elements. As we develop this application and install more packages, we'll have more of these package reference elements. The first package that we have here, that is Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.app, this package is called a meta package. A meta package has no content of its own. It just contains a list of dependencies, that is, a list of other packages. So in the Solution Explorer, if we expand dependencies and then NuGet, notice we have a reference to our meta package, Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.app. And when we expand this, we see that it is a list of other dependencies, that is, other packages. So this meta package contains most of the things that we need for developing an ASP.NET Core application. Now, another important point to keep in mind is on the meta package reference, we usually do not include a version number. When the version number is not specified, an implicit version is specified by the SDK. .NET Core team recommends to rely on the implicit version rather than explicitly setting the version number on the package reference. Don't worry if this is not entirely clear at the moment. We'll discuss meta package and implicit version in detail in our upcoming videos. Notice we have another package reference in this project file. This package contains MS Build support for Razor, and it is referenced by our meta package Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.app. At the moment in our project, in addition to this project file, we have these three files: app settings, program, and startup. These are very important files. We'll discuss their significance in our upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.